So with you growing up, what's been, what's probably been the biggest challenge that you've had in business that you've had to address?
I think, well, loads of challenges, but
I think I've heard a few of them along the time, and in the early days, it was actually getting people to believe what you were doing.
Yes,
Like
and actually give me a go. That was probably the hardest thing,
Yeah.
and that goes back to the whole, very closed-minded, low-risk appetite, and that tall poppy syndrome thing, which I think is changing, but we need to double down on that. And now is the time to double down on that so we can be competitive. But from a pure business sense, I think this is for the entrepreneurs that are out there that are building businesses and they want to build something that can be globally competitive. I think the biggest lesson for me was choose your customers wisely.
Yeah.
Because when you're growing up and you're a startup company and it's all about making $1, right, to be able to survive from one week to the next, you'll have a conversation with anyone. And anyone that remotely could resemble a customer, you'll have that conversation and you'll put your every ounce of energy into that conversation. But the sooner you can mature your thinking to say, not every conversation is a good conversation, and these are the types of customers that I'm going after, and these are the ones that really can give me some value back. And that might not be value in money in the early days. It might just be value from a honest, open conversation.
Yep.
Right? Those are the things that you need to think about, because the amount of time I wasted having those conversations with anyone who would listen, you spin cycles.
Yeah.
And those cycles cost you money and they burn runway.
Yeah.
And runway is everything. So, the sooner you can figure out what a qualified customer looks like, qualify in, but more importantly, qualify out. Okay. And don't have those conversations with the ones that are not qualified in.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. What's two things, it doesn't have to be business, two things in life that you believe 100% you actually act on or believe in that has made your life better for what it is today?
Well, I think I'm still on that journey. I don't think I've fully baked that pie.
That's a good one.
But look, the one thing that pops straight into my head is I'm constantly thinking about the next generation. Yeah. So I definitely try to consciously be in the moment. I try not to live in the past or the future.
Right? That's me.
And my wife told me a good one yesterday. She said that she heard from someone else that if you have 1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the future, you are pissing on the present. Is that gold or what? Is that gold or what?
Yes. That is
so
gold.
I'm not one to piss on the present.
Yeah.
But I definitely, and maybe this is since having kids. Actually, before kids even, I was thinking about having kids, so I kind of had that mind state of the future generations. And, so way outside of technology is the environment.
Yep.
And, we're all in a pretty dire situation right now. And anyone who doesn't realize that needs to be shot in my books. We have a lot of work to do from an environmental perspective, and some of us are doing quite a lot. Some of us are doing as much as we possibly can. All of us can do more, no question about it. But actually starting to think about what might the future look like for my kids looks pretty bleak right now.
Yeah.
And that's upsetting for me because, every species that disappears from the planet is one species that my kids don't get to experience. And why should they not have that opportunity when we've had that opportunity? And so it's our generation right now that has to do something about that. And I believe technology has a major part to play. Look, we have AI. Very, very advanced AI, more advanced than a lot of people know about. Are we using that AI for the right reasons?
Yeah.
Are we simply using it to fill out our pockets with more money for the 1%?
Yep.
Or are we actually trying to think about how we can use it for good? And there are lots of organizations that are, and they need our help.
Someone mentioned AI to just put a little bit of a capacity to how advanced it is you talk about having the 2 smartest people on the planet, whoever those people are, and then putting them together and what they come up with in the day. And then they reckon AI can then come up with that times 1,000. And then the next day, keep multiplying that out. That's how fast AI can work on.
Sure,
Is that a good assumption?
Well, it depends. It depends.
Depends what
it
they're talking about.
depends what they're talking
They were
about.
talking about that Go game when they talked about
Got it. Yeah.
the different complexity in it.
Yeah,
and
sure.
now the thing that blew me away is there will never be someone to beat an AI computer in chess ever again. There'll never be someone to beat a computer in Go ever again. And who would have thought? Go back 10 years, a chess player, best chess player ever, I will always win. But is that not a bit concerning?
Well, it is for me.
Because you play chess?
No, I don't play chess. but look, that might be true algorithmically.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you need a human
to turn the computer on?
To turn the computer. More importantly, you need a human to turn the computer off. And I know Elon Musk would agree with me, as would Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, what is humanity without the humans involved?
Yeah.
All right. I think we got to keep that in mind. And at the end of the day, what are we using AI for? Are we using it to improve humanity and to improve the human condition, or are we using it to overtake and take over the human condition?
Yeah.
I think we all know what the answer is to that. But if we're not careful,
Yep. Could be the other way.
Mm-hmm.